the 2K Sports pregame show.
Hello, everybody. Ernie Johnson here. Shaq's here. Kenny's here. Welcome to this edition of 2K Sports. Tonight, it'll be the Philadelphia 76ers going up against the Detroit Pistons at Little Caesars Arena. For Detroit, they come into tonight's game after a loss to Chicago. They got caught flat-footed, lost a game they felt should have been theirs. Looking to turn the page here. And tonight, we get to see one of the faces of the NBA, Blake Griffin. He's battled a number of injuries, but Kenny, he's still one of the league's better power forwards.
He gives you a lot of things, Ernie, and I really believe if he didn't get injured early on, he would have been higher in the MVP voting last year. Terrific passer, tries to improve his range every season, now shooting threes.
Kenny, what are you talking about? Everybody gets injured. Let's just talk about how he adds a physical presence. You know, it's too bad him and Chris Paul could never reach the finals together.
Well, I'm not going to argue with that.
Me either.
You don't want to argue.
That does it for us. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you later.
Knock you out.
Mama said.
The Pistons play before the home crowd. And we've got it right here on 2K Sports, live from downtown Detroit. This is Kevin Harlan. We've got Chris Webber and Greg Anthony with us. And from the sideline, we'll be hearing from David Aldridge. For the Philadelphia 76ers, they come in off a good outing against Orlando. And there wasn't much question as to how that game was going to turn out. They absolutely put the hammer down on them.
And once they established that flow offensively, really never got any resistance from the D.
And I feel like the defense was one step behind all night. I mean, they never made the adjustments to string together a few stops.
And before we get going, let's hear from David Aldridge on the sideline. David?
Thanks very much. Andre Drummond is the most prolific rebounder in the league. He said, every time I see a shot go up, it's like a pass to me. Guys focus on points and getting assists. My goal is to go out and get 20 rebounds a night. Kevin?
He definitely is tough to handle in there, David. Thanks so much. We'll see, we have the front court talent tonight on full display. Talk about what it's like to play against the elite at your position, going mano a mano, you against the best.
Oh, wow. Well, I tell you what, in this league of the best players, you better be ready every night. But to go back to my era, Kev, this was what my week looked like as a Sacramento King in the Western Conference. Play against Dirk Nowitzki on Tuesday. Play against Tim Duncan on Thursday. Play against KG on Friday. And then play against Shaq on Sunday. And then how about Karl Malone again on Tuesday?
Oh.
So if that doesn't make you lose a little bit of sleep.
Unbelievable.
You must be one of the greatest of all times. It's tough. You got to be focused every night.
Absolutely. Look at the 76ers starting group. Covington at the 3 and Saric at the 4. Simmons and Fultz, the backcourt pairing. And it's Embiid in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. Robinson misses. Fultz kicks to Covington. Passes it to Simmons. And he drops it in from the low post. Simmons got the first points on the scoreboard for Philadelphia. Now here's Bullock. Tight defense on him. Drummond. And it's Drummond with the jam.
Oh, yeah, Kevin. Drummond, he's such a quick leaper. He's a force around the rim.
Outside, Simmons. First quarter, just over a minute played. And it's sent back by Drummond. But he gets it back. Here's Saric. And slam dunk by Saric.
Look at the unselfishness of Embiid, Kevin. I mean, he's solid at realizing when one of his guys is uncovered.
Jackson with it. He's coming off a 13-point game against the Bulls in Chicago.
And it was an unselfish night for him as well. He got plenty of assists to go along with all those points.
The 76ers have gone 2 of 3 here to start out the game. Simmons dishes to Fultz. Stolen by Bullock. Here's Jackson. And the shot no good, a bit short.
Defensively, they could have done better. That's an open look he'd like to have back.
Down low. Here's Saric. That shot no good. Nice D from Griffin. Here's Bullock. Hits it from three-point range.
This is what you get from Griffin. Very willing to give it up to his open teammates.
Here's Fultz. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot two.
You know, Markelle Fultz had a rookie year that was up and down, to say the least. He missed so much time during the injury. I mean, he reworked his shot. He eventually came back right at the end of the season and got right back into the swing of things.
Shooting two.
No good on that one. And Chris, when Fultz came back and was healthy, you could see why he was taken first overall.
Well, just a very smart player with the ball and create space and chances with ease. I mean, he's great at stopping short on drives and dropping one in. His speed, his quickness, I think they're going to be hard to match for a long time.
And he sinks the second.
But that's what I love about Fultz. He does a little bit of everything. Scores, rebounds, passes.
Pass to Jackson. Fires from 14. Here's Drummond. And a good offensive board. And he gets the bucket.
He lives for these type of battles on the boards. It doesn't matter which end of the floor it is either.
Simmons against Jackson. Pass to Embiid. Stolen by Bullock. One-on-one here. Here's Griffin. And it's rebounded by Covington.
Aggressive move to the bucket, and D is ready for it.
Fultz, the basket good off the assist from Simmons.
Adept at figuring out ways to score from mid-range. Fultz, showing he has the touch.
Jackson kicks to Griffin. Back to Jackson. The 11-footer, and it's blocked by Simmons.
At the reach of Simmons, I mean, coming into play on these blocks, you got to be careful shooting around this guy.
Let's take this chance to see which of last season's teams had the most second chance points in the league. Fifth on the list, the 76ers.
That's an effort stat for me. I mean, it shows you how hard this team works in the paint. They continue to pound the backboard.
And he makes the first.
Oh, a fantastic season a year ago for the 76ers. Think about it, 52 wins for them, and they secured the 3rd seed in the East. A far cry from where they were just a few seasons ago.
Second free throw, no good. And the improvement for the 76ers happened so fast. Last year, the team went from the cellar to front runner.
So when they got healthy, they got good. Having Simmons and Embiid for a full year, huge. I mean, they lost to the Celtics, but that's just part of the learning process for this group.
Another miss by Philadelphia.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backboard.
Here's Griffin. Last game we saw him score 14. And it's Bullock in the corner. And the three off target.
A defender nowhere near him, and he still can't hit it. He wants that one back.
Simmons passes to Fultz. They get a hand on it. Stolen by Jackson. Here's Drummond, and the shot goes in. Drummond's got 6 points.
And the 76ers decide to take their first time out here.
First chance of the season for them to go up against this Pistons team.
And while they swept the season series against them last year, making it pretty clear how much separation exists between the two teams.
Yeah, a lot of people think the separation still exists, but I myself, I want to see what happens in this first game before I make that call.
And where the shots been coming from tonight, here's a look broken down by paint, mid-range, and three-point shot attempts so far for the 76ers.
And they've pretty much ignored the corner three tonight. It's a useful shot to have. It really forces the D out wide and opens things up in the middle.
Now here's Fultz. 9 points last game out. Griffin with the steal. And now the first timeout called here for Detroit. Outplayed in the previous game on their schedule, losing to Chicago.
Yeah, we saw no matter what they tried offensively, the opponent just had the answer.
And in a big way. This was a blowout. The players, coaches, everyone is to blame.
And let's take a look now at Joel Embiid's numbers. He's coming off an excellent season. 4th in blocks, 7th in rebounding, and he ranked in the top 15 in points per game, one of the league's premier offensive threats.
And he was a shot blocking machine last season for sure. As you said, top 5 in the league. He gave ground to absolutely no one. Now here's Jackson. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. 5 to shoot. And Griffin scores. The assist by Jackson.
Excellent at recognizing when to shoot off the pass. Griffin is so good at catching the D by surprise.
Fultz kicks to Simmons. That's it. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
He's looking confident right from the opening tip.
The Pistons leading. Jackson has the open look. No good from outside.
Not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see if he can eventually get back on track.
Here's Embiid. And, yep, that's going to be a flagrant foul. Unnecessary contact.
Boy, a very hard foul that time, and the officials had to slap him with the flagrant. I mean, you can't let him get away with that kind of contact.
Yeah, gee, that's an easy call for the officials to make when there's that much contact. The league is really cracking down on those sort of plays. First free throw is good.
And last year, we saw what a full season of Embiid looks like. I mean, scary to think that this is just the beginning of his career. He looks like he can go down as one of the greats to play if he can stay healthy.
And without a doubt, the voice of this team, the face of this franchise, is center Joel Embiid. Chris, he's embraced it from the beginning.
The 76ers knocked it out the park when they took the risk of drafting Embiid. To have a star like Embiid be so personable, it's rare. I mean, it's practically the voice of the city at this point.
Man, this thing is just going back and forth tonight.
Each team is stepping up, rising to the challenge. Yet another new challenge.
And there's a whistle, and that's going to go on Simmons. That's his first foul. Here's Griffin.
And it helps whenever Saric is this active on defense, wanting to make a difference on this end.
That shot off. Griffin with some nice D. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Markelle Fultz. That's his first foul for the Pistons. Johnson comes in for Robinson. And it's Ish Smith in for Jackson. It's stolen by Sharch. Now here's Fultz. He's guarded by Bullock. Count it. Good. Covington's got his first points of the night.
Now, what confidence from the rangy swing man. I mean, he knows what it takes to convert from there.
Johnson kicks to Griffin. Back to Johnson. Stolen away. Nice job to interrupt the alley-oop attempt there. Smith against Simmons. And there's the pass to Embiid. Rebounded by the Pistons. It's a 4-point ball game. And Ben Simmons picks up the foul. That'll be his second foul of the game.
And now only one away from being in the penalty.
Detroit making a switch here. Galloway is checked in. And Philadelphia also making a switch. Wilson Chandler's checked in for Dario Saric. Time called here. The Pistons decide to talk it over. Last season, they were trying to speed up the game, C-Web. Teams were given fewer timeouts. Do you think they achieved that goal?
Well, yeah, the new rules, 18 to 14 total timeouts, no more 20-second timeouts. All quarters have 2 mandatories. I think it does help speed up, and these are the greatest coaches in the world. They can adjust. They just need to know what the rules are, and I love the fast pace, the fast pitch count. Let's make sure that we keep the game in a way that fans love it, and we're not leaving any time out there on the floor. I think the coaches have made a great adjustment to it, and look, play on the East Coast is always going to be a little bit slower, a little bit more methodical than the West, but I tell you what, it seems like it's speeded up the game on both sides, and that's something great for us fans.
Well said. And the first one drops. One thing Blake Griffin's teammates, Chris, talk about is the leadership he brings the team.
This is a role he's comfortable in, a 5-time All-Star. He's a hard worker, mature. That's something every team needs. I mean, going into last season, Blake Griffin re-signing with the Clippers. I mean, they pulled out all the stops in their pitch, going with his jerseys to the Raptors, comparing him with Gandhi and MLK, and then 7 months later, bye-bye, he was traded.
And so it's Detroit with the ball after Markelle Fultz missed from long range. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Markelle Fultz. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. First one falls for him. And Griffin had been, and still is, really, the most important player in Clippers franchise history. So, Chris, why'd they end up trading him, you think?
I mean, his injury history, I guess it had to be a part of it. I mean, also, the Clippers are in the midst of a retool. They got younger and got a lot more shooting with the deal.
Galloway hits both of them.
What I like about Galloway is that he knows his role. He doesn't play outside of himself. He's a dependable player.
And here's Fultz. Chandler outside. Now here's Fultz. Pachulia with the steal. Johnson outside. Smith. And that misses. That would have put him up. The 76ers have gone 6 of 13 from the field, just under the 50% mark. And Stanley Johnson is going to pick up the foul. That's his first foul. And taken away by Johnson.
And that's sort of a picture of what not to do on those last 2 possessions. They're being way too loose with the ball.
Galloway, the pass to Johnson. Back to Galloway. Lure the screen. Just 5 to shoot. Loses the defender with the screen and drills the jumper. Lure's got his first basket of the night. Now, here's McConnell, covered by Smith. Here's Covington, and a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here.
Robert Covington has been part of it all. He's one of the few 76ers to have seen the complete process and the transformation from 76ers bottom dweller to contender.
Philadelphia shooting their 7th and 8th attempts at the foul line tonight.
Take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
That free throw missing. And Covington, who broke onto the NBA scene with the 76ers back in 2014, he has certainly seen it all.
Yeah, and you have to love how Covington used the bad years as a chance to prove himself as a player. He improved his shot and defense while the franchise rebuilt. Now he's a critical role player on this fantastic team.
He hits the second from the line.
You know, this is the type of guy I like, from undrafted to a quality role player. I mean, he has heart. He's gotten better every year. Covington adds a lot to this team. He can let that thing fly, too. He's a fearless shooter.
Now here's Johnson. He's been patient so far, nothing yet on the scoreboard. And Robert Covington picks up the foul. So that will be his second foul of the game. We're in the bonus, and we'll go to the line to shoot 2. Stanley Johnson, the 8th overall pick back in 2015. High hopes, but he's scuffled a bit thus far in his career.
A quality defender thanks to his strength and quickness. He's got to progress offensively to become a real difference maker.
The first free throw is good.
And Johnson, the former Arizona Wildcat, certainly has a bright future in this league. The combination of shooting, speed, and length he possesses is just exciting.
And Johnson drops them both.
Well, yeah, I mean, just think about it. I mean, Detroit and Stan Van Gundy parting ways this summer after 4 seasons, but that's actually the longest run a Piston coach has had since Chuck Daly ended his 9-year tender back in '92. But that doesn't matter, though, because you have to think what Larry Brown did in just a couple of seasons there, winning a championship.
How about battling through the impact there and then willing that basketball in?
One shot, gentlemen.
And in the last 15 years, Chris, 10 different head coaches for the Pistons. Any concern on your part about a return to that revolving door on the bench?
Well, I think right now they're in rebuild mode, so a consistent voice will help. Still, only 1 playoff appearance in the last 4 seasons and no playoff wins. You wonder why would they fire Joe Dumars, who went to 6 straight Eastern Conference Finals. You still kind of go back and you're haunted by that decision. But you're judged by your results, and hopefully for fans of the Pistons like myself, they can turn it around.
High arcing shot. Pachulia dishes to Smith. Back to Pachulia. Kicks it to Lure. Knocked away. Here's Smith. Nice spin off the left rim and in. Smith's got his first points of the game.
Well, I just like how Smith is keeping his focus, even when the D is breathing down his neck.
And the 76ers call time here. And with the long season ahead, for the best teams, Chris, you get the feeling they wish the playoffs could start tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, didn't we see that with last year? It looked like they were a little bored during the season.
Right.
But what happens during the playoff season? That's why we call it seasons. But once you reach that elite level, Kevin, everything you do is geared toward winning a championship. Everything you do. And so that's why it's so fun watching the best of the best.
The Golden State showed that, of course, last year. Here's Redick following the bucket by the Pistons. Here's the screen. Here's Muscala. The 76ers with another miss.
They hold the early advantage on the glass.
Smith right side. Over in the corner. Lure. Off target with his 3. The 76ers trail by 3. McConnell passes to Johnson. Count it.
And you know what? He's underrated there. Johnson with length, athleticism, and he can finish with either hand inside.
Detroit's gotten just 2 of 6 to fall from 3-point range so far in the first. Smith kicks to Johnson. Back to Smith. Left side, Redick trying to find Chandler. He's got it now.
Oh, man, you better appreciate the unselfishness. When Redick sees an open teammate, as great of a shooter as he is, he's fast at getting him the ball.
And that Unleash Chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Hover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. Pachulia, good. Pachulia's got his first basket of the night. Well, guys, this first half has been about as tightly contested as you could hope for.
There have been a lot of lead changes. My goodness.
Now, here's McConnell. He hasn't yet put up any points in this one. Chandler outside. He kicks it to Muscala. 6 to shoot. The 76ers need to get off a shot. A shot by McConnell, no good. The Pistons lead it. To the middle, here's Johnson, and then Johnson with the jam.
Well, this is what Smith does best, keeping his eyes moving to set up the open man.
Shot clock and game clock separated by less than 6 seconds. McConnell passes to Muscala. Johnson with a screen on Lure. And Muscala kicks to Johnson. The 3-ball. The shot by Redick, no good. To the paint, Pachulia dishes to Smith. Great D that time from Johnson. At the end of one, a closely contested game so far. Pistons lead by 3. And back with the start of the second quarter in just a moment. A native of Cameroon, Joel Embiid talks about making a quick transition to the United States.
Not knowing English, obviously at the beginning it was a little bit hard to express myself. Obviously I can speak English perfectly now, so that's a plus, and I'm just being myself.
And that unique sense of humor, Greg, is a specialty of Embiid's.
He's a fun-loving guy who's become a must-follow on social media. And the transition he's made has been remarkable.
And so far, it's been a closely contested game as we get the second quarter up and going. And guys, looking at what you've seen so far from the Pistons, what do you think?
I mean, an interesting first quarter. The pressure D seems to be causing a lot of turnover.
Well, that's what happens when you're aggressive on that end of the floor. They took a few chances and took control of the game.
Lure and Drummond together down low. Then it's Johnson. Then there's Ish Smith. And it's Galloway in at the 2. That's the group for Detroit right now. Glenn Robinson, the third, is checked in for Detroit. Reggie Jackson comes in for Ish Smith. To the middle and taken away by Johnson. On the sideline, let's catch up with Hall of Famer David Aldridge.
Well, guys, Brett Brown coached the Sixers team through some really lean years. Now, the promise started to show last season, but he said, I don't feel close to the notion that we've arrived. I'm hardened, just doing my job and moving forward. Kevin?
And continuing the process, D.A. thanks. Foul on the play, basket counts, so it'll be a 3-point play chance.
Wow, Drummond is one of the top rebounders in the game. You have to put a body on him, maybe 2, maybe 3, maybe 4, just to prevent him from coming away with the second chance opportunity.
And this is his first trip to the line tonight.
And you know, you'll take what he can give you from the free throw line. Looking at his numbers, just really not one of his strengths. Shooting in the low 60s last season.
Reggie Bullock, he's checked in for Langston Galloway. Free throw, good, Drummond. Well, C-Web, Andre Drummond, the 9th pick in 2012. Some teams had questions about his competitive spirit. Thought he was a little too passive with UConn.
His off-the-court personality might have fed into that. I heard he's a big teddy bear, but that hasn't stopped him from beasting on the court here in the association.
Now, here's Redick. He had 13 points in the win against Orlando.
Exceptional at shooting off the pass. Redick's rapid-fire release often comes in handy.
Here's Jackson. And again, it's the Pistons missing.
Wasted opportunity. That's a good chance right there for an easy 2 on the open jump.
Chandler's shot, good.
That's their 3rd straight make off an assist.
Pistons trail by 3. To the inside, Drummond tries again, and the layup is up and in. Drummond's got 5 points now in the quarter.
And there's a pattern starting to take shape here. They're working it inside and getting good shots from close range.
Redick passes to Simmons. There's the screen. On the wing, Chandler. Banked in off the glass. Chandler's got 6.
Man, this guy is a scoring machine. I mean, I know I'm not the only one to describe him that way.
Jackson from long range. Good on the triple. Jackson's got the game tied up here for the Pistons.
Oh, man, you really like seeing Jackson get going from the perimeter. His three-point shot has come a long way.
Outside, Redick. Fires for three. Another three for Philadelphia.
I mean, it took him a long time to get into the flow of the game, but the points are starting to come for him now.
There's the pick. Jackson kicks to Bullock. Lure a screen on Simmons. They get it back. Count it, and the 76ers lead has been cut down to 1 on the bucket from Drummond.
They continue to be outworked and outmuscled on the backboard.
Outside, Simmons. Chandler outside. Redick is in the corner. Clock at 6. Another three for Philadelphia.
Yeah, and they're starting to warm up from the field this quarter.
The Pistons have gotten a little under 50% of their second quarter shots to find the mark. 4 of 9 all told. Bullock passes to Robinson. Drummond sets the screen for Robinson. Lure a screen on Simmons. Jackson misses.
Wow, he's really been dragging them down tonight.
The 76ers leading by 4. Simmons on the wing. Guarded by Jackson. Count the basket. 6 points for Ben Simmons.
Yeah, you gotta at least contest Simmons from the mid-range. I mean, he has the touch to be effective from it.
Drummond in the post. Johnson's there. Jackson from long range. The Pistons rebound, and Drummond kicks to Jackson. Drummond sets the screen for Jackson. They get a hand on it, and stolen by Simmons. Muscala, the pass to Simmons. Back to Muscala. The three. The shot will not fall. And Detroit the other way now. Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time taking the lid off.
That's good. The Philadelphia lead is cut down now to just 4 in the basket from Robinson. And the 76ers call time here. In addition to going over the game plan and making whatever necessary adjustments have to be made, Greg, this timeout also the time for players to get rehydrated or hydrate for the first time with some Gatorade. Plenty of basketball still to be played here, and they have to get recharged.
That's a great point. Without proper hydration, a player can completely run out of gas down the stretch of a game. And that's something that none of these guys can afford to have happen. If you're going to battle all the way to the finish, you have got to be hydrated.
And Simmons slams it in.
A problem inside. That's what he is. Once Simmons gets the ball in the positioning that he wants, he goes for the throwdown.
Pistons trail by 6. Passes to Bullock. Nice ball movement by Detroit. And it's Drummond missing.
Well, I'm sure he thought that was good when it left his fingertips. Matter of fact, I know he did.
Lobbed up there for Embiid. Stolen by Jackson. Pass to Bullock. Inside. Feeds to Griffin. And then Griffin with the dunk.
What an athlete this guy is. Griffin making dunking look so easy. Well, think about the core of this team, Kevin. Simmons, Embiid, and Fultz. They're all incredible in the open floor. All unique and exciting. And they can play the game in ways you haven't seen. Their unselfishness on offense seeps into the rest of the team.
And he gets the bucket. Now just a 2-point 76ers lead.
And it's easy to admire Griffin's game. He's excellent at absorbing the hit and muscling his way through contact.
Here's Fultz. The 76ers with another miss. And the 76ers love to pass. Second in the league in assists, and Chris also pushed the pace.
Yeah, Kev, they're 4th in pace of play, and they want to get out front. Ben Simmons, he makes it happen out there on the floor. They can turn it over and shoot themselves in the foot, but when they get things right, it's a thing of beauty.
Griffin a screen on Simmons. Jackson kicks to Drummond. Shot is good, and the 76ers lead is cut down to just 2 points on the bucket from Blake Griffin.
And they're beginning to just flat out fall apart defensively right now. especially on the interior.
Now here's Fultz. Defense right on him. The shot by Sharch, no good. Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from way outside since the start of the second quarter. Embiid with the steal. Pass to Fultz. Stolen by Robinson. Outside Griffin. For the 3, and it's Robinson that time on the assist by Griffin. Robinson's got 5 points in the quarter. Here's Fultz. And he's fouled pretty hard on that shot, but he's got the chance to pick up the points at the line. And with as much news and worry that Fultz's jump shot has caused, you forget just how deadly he is going at the rim.
Yeah, has no problem cutting through the defense like a hot knife through butter. I tell you, Ben Simmons said he hates guarding Fultz in practice as it is impossible to stay in front of him. Just a very shifty player who uses his great handles to get into the teeth of the defense.
That free throw, no good.
And the feeling is with Fultz, tremendous potential. Could be one of those game-changing type point guards who scores and passes with ease.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Pachulia, he's checked in for Drummond. Johnson comes in for Glenn Robinson III. Langston Galloway's checked in for Reggie Bullock. And it's Ish Smith in for Reggie Jackson. And he can't get the second one to drop either. Coming up empty that time. We talk about players working hard, but also being smart. I'm sure there are some training methods, C-Web, that you think translate well to success on the court.
Good nutrition has become more and more popular. That, along with rest and then cardio, you must be in shape because the game and the pace of the game is so much faster. So, yes, you have to be smart in your training methods, especially for your recuperation, especially for your rehabilitation. If there's any injuries, you want to try to stay fresh while you're giving your all. And that's tough, especially back-to-back in an 82-game season. That can be tough, but it's something that you must focus on, and that's your health.
I can only imagine. And there's a whistle, and that's going to go on Simmons. That's his 3rd foul of the game.
He was hoping to avoid a 3rd foul before the breaker. Now, he might have to sit out until halftime.
And Philadelphia making a change here. McConnell's checked in. Here's Pachulia. Basket is good, the assistant.
Timely passing leads to assists, and that's been the recipe for success.
Embiid sets the pick for Fultz. Now the dish to Embiid over Pachulia. That one a tad offline to the right, but drops in for him. Embiid's got 10 points in the game. Picked by Pachulia. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Markelle Fultz. And that'll be his 3rd foul so far. Smith kicks to Johnson. The pass to Galloway. Nice ball movement by Detroit. 6 to shoot. And that one clearly a foul. Gets the whistle, and 2 shots coming up.
And here we can check out the story on Dario Saric. A very nice season for him last year. Put up about 14 points per, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Guys, he's a difference maker off the bench. Steps into that front court and more than holds his own.
Well, it's his willingness to bang down low or move opponents off the block. Those are valuable contributions.
That's good from Johnson. So Johnson hits 2 of them.
Well, I don't think the Pistons tried to make Andre Drummond the offensive focal point. I think Andre Drummond doesn't need his name called to have plays, and he rebounds and scores that way, but you need a different type of offense. The Pistons were terrible in half-court execution, and they didn't get out and run as well. You kind of wondered at times last season what were they doing, what was their strategy. But now with Blake Griffin arriving, there's no question who's the top dog now.
And so it's Detroit with the ball. 76ers getting the bucket. Galloway dishes to Pachulia. Picked by Pachulia. And again, it's the Pistons missing. And that Griffin-Drummond pairing, not unlike the Lob City front court of Griffin and DeAndre Jordan in Los Angeles.
But think about Griffin's passing, I mean, and the oops he used to throw to Jordan. Well, he can definitely throw those to Drummond. He can go up and get it, and is a rebounder the same way. As a big fella, I loved having another big fella in there that I could play with, switch defensively with, communicate with, change the game with, and Griffin is becoming more comfortable as a perimeter shooter and is passing above all. That enables him to function alongside another interior big like Drummond.
Covington. Here's Embiid. And count it, and a chance for one more at the free throw line.
Well, we've seen that movie a few times, haven't we? An easy bucket in the paint.
This will be his third free throw shot of the game.
One shot, gentlemen.
The free throw drops for Embiid.
And think about, Kevin, this talented 76ers team. Coach Brown helped shape and form the core of this roster. I mean, he's come up with the group much as they have grown under him.
Now here's Griffin. 10 points for him. Now Smith. Picked by Pachulia. From about 19 feet. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Embiid's got double-digit rebounds now in the game. And with Brown, he has the trust of the players because they have gone through the same trying times.
And let's not undervalue. Oh, we've seen this before. I mean, from Griffin. His dunking ability is off the charts.
Fultz the pass to Šarić. McConnell with it. Over Smith. Rebounded by the Pistons. Pachulia's got 5 rebounds tonight. And Griffin slams it in.
The offensive arsenal of Griffin, so dangerous, especially when it seems he can't miss from anywhere.
We've got a 9-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. Embiid sets the pick for Fultz. Passes it to McConnell over Smith. Yep, it goes. And the Piston lead is cut down to just 1 on the basket from McConnell.
And you can see there the defender gets caught up on the pick.
Team ball. Great execution on offense. Everyone working together. You wish you could have that on every play.
And there's the foul. It'll go on T.J. McConnell. That's his first foul of the game, and the bonus will go to the free throw line. For Detroit, they have knocked down 8 of 9 free throw attempts. I'd say those numbers read pretty well.
You know, Kevin, the resiliency of Smith is something you have to admire. He's bounced around the league, but has finally become a valued rotation player.
Both free throws good from Smith. Here's Redick. 10 points for him. Fires the 3.
And the reach of Galloway annoys shooters. I mean, does a nice job contesting without fouling.
Blake Griffin getting it done for Detroit. He got into double digits for the quarter with 10 points total. It's time now to go courtside as we send you over to David Aldridge from the sideline. David, take it away.
Thanks. Tight game tonight, Dwayne. How do you break this thing open in the second half?
Well, number one is we got to make sure we get in a defensive disposition. You know, right now we're kind of trading buckets. We're anticipating, putting them on the foul line. So we got to play from an anticipatory style of defense, whereas we're not reacting to where they have us on our heels.
Case, thanks for your time. Back to you.
All right, Dave, thank you. And time now for the halftime break with the third quarter soon to follow right here on 2K Sports.
The 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Boy, what a crowd joining us here for our halftime report. I'm Ernie Johnson alongside Kenny the Jet Smith and the Diesel, Shaquille O'Neal. Some incredible work in this one by Blake Griffin. He had 14 points, 6 rebounds, and 2 assists. Kenny, what's your take on Detroit so far?
Well, one place they had the edge was on the offensive boards. They converted those extra possessions into points. Nothing is more demoralizing to a defense than forcing a miss and then giving up a second attempt. The offensive glass is going to pay big dividends for them.
And over to Shaq. What did you think about Philadelphia?
Their three-point shooting in the first half was atrocious. Ugh, ugly, awful, nasty. It's not that they're just missing shots. It's like they just keep taking the shots. Oh, hold on, Ernie. Hey, you! Whatever your number is, stop shooting the three. See, Ernie, that's all the coach got to do. Tell them stop shooting the three. Pass, cut, work together, do something.
And that wraps up the halftime show. Third quarter set to begin in just a few.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game. Joel Embiid has been sensational.
Yeah, and the fact he's posted a double-double with about half the game left to play, that's impressive.
Well, it comes down to talent, comes down to hustle. He's shown both in a big way so far.
The 76ers trail by 3. Kicking off the second half, here's Brett Brown's foul. Simmons and Fultz, the backcourt pairing. Saric is the 4 with Embiid in the middle. And it's Covington in at the small forward position. Second chance shot, and he lays it up and in. 17 points for Joel Embiid.
Oh, how about the length of Embiid? I mean, it's tough to deal with. Outstanding, using it to gobble up offensive rebounds.
Now let's go to the sideline and catch up with our Hall of Famer, David Aldridge.
The Pistons went for it last season, bringing in Blake Griffin and trading away picks and players. Didn't work out the way they wanted, but they are determined to make a go of it. They're in a brand new building, and they hope that their moves in the future will draw fans back to the franchise. Kevin?
Good overview, David. Thank you. Poked loose, and the ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Saric.
All right, a moment here to check out stats for Griffin. Last season, he played outstanding. 17th in assists and amongst the league's top-tier scorers, top 20 in points per game.
And really a good season for him distributing the basketball. Whether it was the drive and dish, pick and roll, fast break, he was money all year long. And there's the call on Dario Saric. That's his first foul. And with a little over a minute gone, the second half is underway. And it's blocked by Embiid.
A stalwart on the defensive end. Embiid is superb at making his presence felt with blocks like that.
The Pistons trailing. Here's Bullock. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got 3 assists in the game. 76ers have gone 2 of 4 here to start the second half.
Well, Reggie Jackson, drafted by the Thunder with the 24th pick in 2011. Now, despite playing big minutes, he wasn't happy backing up Westbrook. He wanted the chance to start.
And they double up Embiid. 6 to shoot. And there's the basket. Whistle blows and a chance for a three-point play. Going to the line for 1.
No clue how he got that one to fall.
And Jackson burned some bridges on his way out of Oklahoma City. Some felt he put himself before the team.
It really worked out financially. I mean, a 5-year, $80 million contract. I mean, it's doubtful the Thunder could have afforded it, but from that standpoint, hard to knock him.
Well, see, Webb, there were a ton of huge personalities on this 76ers team, from the stars Right on down to the rotation players.
Well, it starts with the Embiid. You know, he's talking junk out there. And think about the quiet swagger that Simmons plays with. This group genuinely get along, and they play for each other. The trials they went through to get here as a core, they should have all the confidence in the world.
And with the offense getting right to the rim, at least they saved the layup.
The 76ers have gone 8 of 13 from the free throw line.
And they were 75% from the line a season ago.
And he makes the first. And he makes the first, but misses the second. C-Webb, the Pistons from 2003 to 2008, with 6 consecutive trips to the Eastern Conference Finals in 1 title. But in the decades since, only 2 playoff appearances and 0 playoff wins.
Well, yeah, think about it. The 2004 title team was led by Joe Dumars, who won championships back-to-back with the Pistons. You need that type of lineage. Think about Boston, Danny Ainge. Think about the Lakers with Magic Johnson. Well, the Pistons need that type of consistency. They need a leader. The Pistons, once again, hoping to find that magic in chemistry.
Sharks, that's good.
How many times have we seen a possession like that from them today, ending with a basket coming off a pretty pass?
Pass to Griffin. Over Sharich. And again, it's the Pistons missing. Philadelphia leading by 7. Embiid with it. 17 points in the game. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
Well, think back to when Ben Simmons was first drafted as the top pick in 2016. Everyone knew he could be a playmaker as a small forward. But really, he functions fully as a point guard when he's out on the floor.
The free throw drops for Embiid. And Chris, Simmons, a player that almost transcends the traditional basketball positions.
Now, he's a playmaker, plain and simple. He has the height and vision and skill to line up anywhere. Simmons, he could be viewed as a generational talent when it's all said and done.
Detroit making a switch here. Lewis checked in. And Embiid drops them both.
And done a much better job from the line this half. They've gotten that percentage up over 80 for the game.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. And the Pistons got off to a hot start last season, 14-6 with some big road wins.
Yeah, but you know, I never really include the first 20 games of the season. I just think that's when everyone getting to know each other, and then when the scouting report comes out for the next 62, that's when things heat up. So I think you take that with a grain of salt, but Reggie Jackson did suffer an ankle sprain, and things started going south right after that. But staying healthy will be critical if they hope to make the playoffs this season.
Embiid with the steal. Sharch dishes to Fultz. Off target there, that would have pushed the lead to double digits.
As off the mark as he has been, they're a little lucky to be in front.
Pistons trail by 9. Outside Jackson. Here's Bullock. Here's Drummond. And 2 free throws coming up. Unable to get that one to go with all the contact. That one on Embiid.
Well, perhaps the most physically dominant player in the league, Andre Drummond. His combination of size, strength, and speed is unmatched.
He made the only free throw attempt he had earlier in the game. And that one misses. Andre Drummond in his mid-20s. He's led the league in rebounding 3 consecutive seasons. And Greg, last season was his best one yet.
Really, I think, established himself as the franchise player for the Pistons. They'll go as far as he can take them. At the same time, though, I think the acquisition of Blake Griffin will only help to mature his game.
Back to Fultz. Shoots over Bullock. Off the left rim and out.
You can't be missing shots like that in the post. That'll get you a spot on the bench.
Covington with the steal. Deflects the pass. Here's Embiid, and it's sent back by Drummond.
And throughout his career, Drummond has averaged more than a block per game. He really goes all out on defense.
And he gets it back. Robinson. It's good. The assist this time from Jackson. Jackson's got his 4th assist with that last one here tonight. Now the 76ers with it. They're on a 15-6 run. Shoots from 14, and the shot is long. Pistons trail by 6. Here's Bullock. Here's Robinson. That one's rebounded by Embiid. Embiid's got 15 rebounds here tonight.
Look, it would be a huge boost for them if he could start knocking these down.
It's Covington on the wing. The 76ers again can't hit it. Detroit's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Here's Bullock, 11 feet out, and he hits it. Bullock's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Now that was a sensational feed. He hit him right on the move.
Simmons passes to Embiid. Kept alive. To the paint. Here's Saric. Gets to the rim for 2 with the D all over him. Saric has got 5 points in the quarter.
He's so focused. I mean, contest Saric all you want inside. He's zoned in and scoring the ball.
Bullock kicks to Jackson. Drummond with a screen on Simmons. Lobbed up there for Drummond.
My goodness. Save that one. I want to see that again.
Me too. Just absolutely beautiful. Timeout called the 76ers.
You know, and Reggie Jackson, a really solid first season and a half in Detroit, but the last 2 seasons, injuries have really held him back.
The 76ers making a switch here. Redick is checked in. Here on the 2K leaderboard are the rebounding leaders from a season ago. Number 1, Andre Drummond.
And, you know, he took a lot of pride in being at the top of that rebounding list. When all was said and done, he was a man among boys.
The 76ers leading by 4. Here's Simmons. He's got 8. Embiid the screen. And here is Simmons. Kicks to Embiid. 6 to shoot. And it's sent back by Drummond.
Drummond mixes defensive smarts with elite physical tools, and that's what makes him a solid defender. He's going to get his hands on a few shots each and every game.
And Reggie Jackson in 2016-17 battling knee tendonitis. Last season, Greg, a severe right ankle sprain.
I mean, he's so important in terms of his impact for the Pistons. An athletic, physical player. When he's right, he can be a difference maker on both ends.
Redick with the 3. Not going to go that time. The Pistons go the other way with it. Following this one, they get to host the Cavaliers. They'll find themselves in the middle of this string of 3 straight at home. Jackson from long range. Good on the triple. Jackson's got 6.
I don't think they were expecting that shot. They didn't really make an effort to get out on him.
The 76ers lead. Simmons on the wing. Guarded by Jackson. Got a piece of it. And that's out of bounds. Philadelphia will retain possession. A different look here for Detroit. Stanley Johnson, he's checked in for Glenn Robinson III. And Smith subbed in for Reggie Bullock. And here are the 76ers now. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Here's Redick. The 76ers with another miss.
Not quite airtight defense right there, but his release was a little bit off on the jump.
And it's Drummond with the jam.
Oh, and when there's an open man, Jackson finds him, making it look very easy.
Philadelphia's gone 1 of 3 from downtown since halftime. Simmons against Smith. Redick passes to Embiid to stop the drought. He takes it up and lays it in. Embiid's got 6 points in the quarter.
He's been in control here tonight, helping them get in front with his work from the field.
Smith against Simmons. Smith kicks to Lure. Johnson in the corner. Lure the screen. 5 on the clock. And it's wide right. Hits off the rim.
And you know what? You can't get a better screen. Frees him up beautifully, but he just fails to capitalize.
The best laid plans, right? Well, I tell you right there, though, that's one they'll take every single time.
A different look here for Detroit. Pachulia comes in for Andre Drummond. And Langston Galloway subbed in for Jackson. And Philadelphia will go for a different look here. Johnson, he's checked in for Joel Embiid. Mike Muscala comes in for Saric. Wilson Chandler's checked in for Robert Covington. And it's T.J. McConnell in for Simmons. They set the pick. Johnson dishes to Redick. Knocks it loose. And Smith with a clear path to the hoop. That's good, and so Galloway with the assist. 6 points for Smith.
Oh, great ball movement there.
Now, here's McConnell, covered by Smith. Redick with a screen on Smith. Chandler outside. Over Johnson, and he sinks that one, hitting the back of the rim on the way in. That's now 8 points for Wilson Chandler. Lure the screen. Another 3 for Detroit.
Crafty at creating separation. Give Galloway any room off the screen, he'll take it.
Now, here's McConnell, covered by Smith. An easy layup after coming off the pick. McConnell's got it all tied up now for the 76ers. Here's Galloway. He's got 5. Smith outside. Lure the screen. Fouled in the act of shooting. A 3-point play chance coming up. Well, a crazy year for Dwayne Casey, voted Coach of the Year, but fired by the Raptors after they were swept in the conference semifinals.
Yeah, Kevin, but he lands on his feet in Detroit, and obviously they got a good one. The Raptors steadily improved season after season under his watch. Hopefully the Pistons can do the same.
Griffin's checked in for Detroit.
One shot.
Ish Smith with the best season yet in 2017-18. Look, he made dramatic improvements as a scorer. Career best from pretty much everyone on the floor.
Redick for 3. Good. And McConnell gets the assist. McConnell's got 3 assists in the game.
Next, a great pick that time by Johnson. I mean, that's another area where he excels.
Back to Griffin. Out of bounds. Philadelphia takes possession. And Ish Smith, in particular, much improved finishing around the rim.
That could be a challenge for a player of his stature. I mean, learning how to find angles to finish around the bigger bodies, that becomes key.
Now, here's McConnell. Muscala, the pass to Redick. No good with the wing jumper.
And they haven't been able to turn it into a big lead, but their rebounding advantage is starting to add up.
Here's Johnson, 11 feet out, and he hits it. Johnson's got 11.
And after really leaning on that three-point shot in the first half, seeming like they're just getting away from it here in the second. More of the shots coming from the interior.
McConnell kicks to Muscala. Redick is in the corner. Redick can't get that one to fall.
Well, he has to work harder to get a good high percentage look. I mean, he's been taking some bad shots out there.
And Chris, with the way the 76ers have taken huge steps forward, what should the expectations be for this team the next few years?
I wouldn't be surprised, Kevin, if they were competing for a title in a few seasons. I mean, they have a very flexible cap to improve their roster, and anything less than that, I think, should be viewed as a disappointment.
No good on that one. He hits the second from the line. Here's McConnell. 1:15 left in the third. Johnson the screen. McConnell passes to Chandler. Back to McConnell. Hangs in the air, and he sinks the layup. McConnell's got 4 points in the quarter.
Important points there. Got him on a nice play, getting the ball inside and right to the bucket.
Left side, Griffin. Smith outside. Shot clock at 6. Back to Griffin. Over Muscala. And there's the call on Pachulia. That is his first foul of the game. '76ers trailing. 8-second difference between the shot clock and the game clock. McConnell kicks to Redick. There's the pick. Dishes to Johnson. For the lead. And Redick the bucket on the assist by Johnson. Johnson's got 3 assists tonight.
That's all you can do on defense. Redick is just amazing at shooting the ball, especially when he's under pressure.
The feed to Griffin. No good. And we just finished the third quarter, and we've got a tight ball game here. 76ers ahead. They're up by 1. And after a quick break, we're going to come right back with the start of the fourth quarter. How about a look at today's State Farm assist of the game?
And I'm glad this was the pick because I love this pass. Such a great dish. That's what I call court vision.
Well, it's also called making a good read, understanding where everyone is and taking full advantage. Fantastic.
Welcome back as we get rolling once more. The fourth quarter right ahead in what's been a very well-contested game. Our fourth quarter action underway, presented by Gatorade. All fueled up and ready to go. Let's reset the lineups. On the floor for Detroit, Johnson and Griffin at the power forward spots. Then there's Pachulia. Then it's Smith, and it's Galloway in at the 2 spot. Muscala, the pass to McConnell, and the basket is good. McConnell's got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the 76ers. Pistons trailed by 3. Griffin sets the screen for Smith inside. From the line, and he connects with the jumper. 16 points for Blake Griffin.
Well, he continues to flourish from these in-between spots. I mean, Griffin, he knows he can sink it.
Johnson the screen. Pass to Chandler. It's stolen by Smith. And, oh, here we go. Smith's got it, the fast break chance. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
This is what Griffin does best. I mean, he's like a ballet basketball player. When he gets in the air, he just hangs there, looks around, spins, eats some popcorn, gives a high five to his teammates, and then throws it in your face.
Chandler is screened. Johnson, the pass to Chandler. Now Detroit moving it up, and the dunk by Smith.
When the break is on, Smith fills the lane perfectly, and you know he loves getting it out in the open floor.
We're just over a minute and a half now into the fourth. McConnell kicks to Muscala. Off target from outside.
They came close there to tying it up.
That was a really important possession, especially at this stage of the game. Painful miss.
And now they're turning this game into a drag race, sprinting out for easy fast break baskets.
McConnell passes to Fultz. Johnson the screen. And here we go, the Pistons fast break.
You can't afford to be careless around Galloway. He's fantastic.
The 76ers trail by 8. McConnell kicks to Chandler. Now the pass to Muscala. Up top, Fultz. To end the run, the 76ers with another miss.
Yeah, really frustrating right now. They just can't seem to stem the tide here.
Yeah, going up against a big run, trying to mount one of your own. I mean, it's exhausting and takes a tremendous amount of energy here.
Now McConnell. Passes it to Chandler. Pachulia with the steal. Here's Griffin, and the slam by Blake Griffin.
And it's been about that execution offensively. I mean, they have been superb.
Yeah, and it's been a team game, a number of contributions. Guys staying focused. That's why the league continues to grow.
Here's Chandler. Back to McConnell. They set the pick. Just 5 to shoot. Here's Fultz. It's good from long range.
It took a long time for him to get that first triple. Let's see now, though, if he can get going.
Now a timeout called by Detroit. For a long time, beat writers and media personnel have determined NBA awards. C. Webb is someone who's been up for some of these. Do you feel the voting system as structured now is fair?
I don't know how it can be fair if it doesn't have any players or coaches involved. You know, I can't necessarily vote on the best doctors because I don't know what it entails, but I can definitely trust other doctors to give their comments on their peers. I think peer awareness is some of the most reliable that you can go for. But, I mean, we have some very knowledgeable writers, sports writers, and media personnel that know. But for the most part, you need help of the players and the coaches to make sure that the integrity is there.
Okay, well, let's go down to David Aldridge for a report from the sideline.
Thanks, guys. I got a chance to hear Dwayne Casey talk to his team. He told his guys they've got the green light to keep shooting from downtown. He told them, I like the way you guys are working out there. Keep finding the open spaces on the perimeter. They're giving us open shots. And we'll see if they step it up from here, guys.
Ben Simmons gets the bucket.
This is where Simmons likes to shoot from. I mean, the closer he is to the rim, the better.
The Pistons on offense. They're on a 17-5 run. Drummond passes to Griffin. He gets that one. Griffin's got 26.
Again and again, they're dissecting the defense and creating those high percentage looks from inside.
Now here's Fultz. He's guarded by Bullock. Fultz dishes to Embiid, and it's sent back by Drummond.
+8 in the rebound differential. One more reason why they're in control.
And it's Bullock missing.
And listen, sometimes even the best of us are going to miss the easiest of opportunities.
I think a kick out is the better option there. Defense had the rim on lockdown.
Detroit leading by 11. 13 feet away. That's good, and it's Jackson with the assist that time.
They're finding lanes to the hoop now with consistency. 5 buckets in a row from the paint.
Now here's Fultz. He's guarded by Bullock. Pass to Embiid. 6 on the shot clock. Back to Fultz. Shoots a 3. Rebounded by the Pistons. Now it's Griffin running. Here he goes. Sailing in.
He's crazy mobile in the open floor. When Griffith runs with purpose, he's capable of capitalizing in transition.
And Simmons kicks to Embiid. In for another field goal. A sublime 9 of 14 on the night.
And you know, he's enjoyed the kind of day you expect in terms of shooting the basketball. He can bring them right back into this game.
Oh, taking it to the rack with power. Hammering down the two-hand slam. Pass to Simmons. Over Jackson. No good from Simmons. Pistons leading by 15. Oh, Griffin in position. And the slam by Blake Griffin.
I feel like they could execute this play in their sleep. Griffin, one of the premier alley-oop finishers in the league.
Some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, right now you just need a bucket to get some momentum.
And the pass to Covington. Down low. Here's Simmons. Great D that time from Griffin.
Yeah, and they've shown effort and aggression in the paint, really right from the tip. Their rebounding edge right now, massive.
Here's Jackson. To the right side. Over Saric. And Detroit again with the bucket.
This is an amazing run he's on. It's like he's been the only guy on the floor this quarter.
Simmons against Jackson. Here's Covington. Rebound by the Pistons. Drummond's got his 18th rebound here tonight. All over the place. Bullock, good.
He's been a different player since halftime. Coming on strong now.
Philadelphia's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the 4th quarter. Shot to stop the run. Saric passes to Fultz. Embiid wide open. And too long on the shot. Pistons leading by 22. Outside Robinson. And the rejection by Embiid. Now the 76ers on the break. With the teardrop. And Simmons gets it to go on the assist from Fultz. Fultz has got his 6th assist on the night. Jackson kicks to Robinson. Back to Jackson. There's a screen by Robinson. They set the pick. It's stolen by Saric. Here's Fultz. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
And one of the problems in the first half, that shoddy work at the free throw line. They needed to fix that, and they've been much improved since the break.
With all the big names in Philadelphia, you can't forget about Dario Saric. But, Chris, he is an impactful presence for this team.
Well, sorry, he doesn't provide a ton of highlight plays, but he brings it every night. He improved his outside shooting and is a well-rounded forward. I mean, you forget he's so young and still has a lot of room to grow his game.
Jackson against Simmons. And Robinson wide open. He shoots. That's good. And it's Jackson with the assist that time.
Yeah, these defenders had better start closing down on shooters.
Griffin against Saric. The 76ers with another miss. Pistons leading by 22. Oh, Griffin in position. That shot misses.
A highlight reel play all the way, just can't connect.
Well, a good attempt to try to finish that alley-oop steal, though. Still should have went for something better than that, though.
And stolen by Simmons. Here's Embiid, and he converts the layup. Embiid's got 25 points in the game.
Oh, he's a very active player who looks to score often. Embiid, phenomenal at finding all kind of ways to score.
Robinson passes to Jackson. Drummond a screen. They get a hand on it. Jackson with it. Now guarded by Fultz. And it's out of bounds. They say it was last touched by Jackson. Timeout called the 76ers.
And watching Robert Covington and how he plays out there, great 3-and-D guy, the ultimate role player on a team, and he just gels well with his teammates and doesn't force shots.
And now the presentation of our Jordan Player of the Game, Blake Griffin.
Yeah, and his performance has been a jaw-dropper. He must have been feeling great coming into the building tonight, because once he hit the court, it was all working for him. He was in a zone.
The lift he got from this home crowd has been obvious. There's nothing fans love more than getting a big game out of someone other than one of their stars. The 76ers trail by 20. And Greg with Covington, he makes a point with his game to take what the defense gives him.
And sometimes that means Covington will go nights where he shoots very little. He's okay with that. He's focused on efficiency and making the best decision for the team. Only cares about wins and a true team player.
They get it back outside Griffin. Drummond the screen. Jackson kicks to Griffin. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Drummond in the post. Guarded by Embiid. Again, the miss by the Pistons.
And he's just a tough defender. Good positioning to get after that shot.
Well, not all defenses are constructed to protect the mid-range area. Nicely done that time.
Covington's shot is off. Detroit leading by 17. Here's Drummond, back to Jackson, and it's blocked by Simmons.
And don't forget about the long reach that Simmons possesses. He uses it exceptionally well on defense to come away with blocks like that.
Detroit's gotten off to a great start from three-point range in the final quarter. They're a perfect 3 of 3.
And so just rolling to the finish line now in what has been a very confident-looking performance for the Pistons.
And the big difference here was accuracy from three-point range.
And once they started sinking shots, it really stretched out the D and created other opportunities. And anytime they got space, they seemed to just knock down another triple.
And it'll go down as their first official win of the new year.
And they'll take the win tonight, setting the tone in the first matchup of this 4-game season series.
And we watched one guy all night long, guys, and looking at the stats just confirms what a dominant game he had. What a night tonight it was for Blake Griffin.
He had those defenders shaking their heads. There were times when they thought they had a handle on it. And then just like that, he'd go off on another tear.
I'll tell you what, the energy in this arena, you can feel it.
Well, a well-earned victory, feeding off the energy of this hometown crowd really all night.
And so the Pistons can now just hold on to the ball. And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Markelle Fultz. That will be foul number 5 on him.
You know what? You've got to always be in control of your emotions.
Bullock with it. And so it's the Pistons taking care of business here. This game may not have been the most exciting we've ever seen, but you have to appreciate just what a clinical performance they put on.
I know their fans appreciated it, and we saw at times just stretches of excellent defense. Potency from an offensive standpoint as well. They were pretty much dominant.
And now we'll send it over to David Aldridge, who is standing by courtside. David.
Thank you very much, Blake. Another good night of work offensively. How does the team build on this?
Just keep that rhythm. You know, we're not always going to hit shots every night. Some nights the shots aren't going to fall. So just keeping that rhythm, keeping the ball moving, talking on defense, and relying on each other.
Congrats on a great win, Blake. Back to you, Kevin.
David, thank you as always. And that about wraps it up. For Chris Webber, Greg Anthony, and David Aldridge, this is Kevin Harlan. Thank you for being with us. So long.